Hi, this is Ananya and welcome back to my channel. This is the start of my new Philosophy 101 series where we try to understand philosophy from scratch. So it makes sense to begin with the most basic question like, why should we study philosophy at all? I have always found philosophy to be a fascinating subject. I remember telling my friend about it, and she said, why do you want to read about philosophy? It's a dead subject. And that made me more curious because the knowledge of an obscure subject is far more powerful. The first time I actually studied philosophy was during my master's because we had Plato's Republic and Aristotle's Poetics in our syllabus. And I won't lie, philosophy is complicated, it's hard. And sometimes you will read the same paragraph over and over again, and you still won't be sure what you read. So, why do we need to study a subject that has very little relevance today? When you think about philosophy, you probably think about people like Socrates or Aristotle or big terms like existentialism, nihilism. But it starts with a very basic question: why? Philosophy is the study of logic, it is the father of all sciences. Before we had science to answer our questions, we had philosophers. Before philosophy, people explained the world through myths and gods. Like everything that was happening was an act of God. People didn't question anything and just accepted everything to be divine intervention. Philosophers changed this by asking questions. They questioned everything. This change from mere acceptance to questioning everything, that is philosophy. After all, we are humans, and what sets us apart from the other species is logic and critical thinking. In ancient Greece, philosophers asked questions about the origin of the universe, which gave birth to various sciences. Even during the time of Newton, physics was actually called natural philosophy. The very first philosopher of all time was Thales. He said that everything is made out of water. Heraclitus said that everything in this world is in a state of constant flux. Democritus said that everything in this world is made of the same tiny particles and void. His theory gave birth to the idea of atoms. Mind you, these were philosophers way before Socrates, and while their ideas weren't always correct, they paved the path towards knowledge. If no one had questioned why things work the way they do, we would still think that an earthquake was happening because God is mad at us. Philosophy not only teaches us to think critically, but it also gives us foundation to base our thoughts upon. Democritus said that everything is made out of tiny particles called atomos, which cannot be broken down further. These particles were in constant motion within a void. Of course, then a lot of people hypothesized on this same theory until John Dalton proved the existence of atom. Then they found out that atoms could be broken down further. What I mean to say is that when you read and understand philosophy, you build a lot of foundation. Maybe it's a new direction of thought, something you haven't thought about before, or it defies your belief, causing your mind to expand its horizons. Philosophy also teaches you to have discourses. Socrates and Plato used to sit with their disciples and have discourses on any given topic. For every argument they made, they had to provide a logical reasoning for it too. So, yes, philosophy will teach you how to argue better. It doesn't always give you answers, it just gives you a better way to search for answers. And that's exactly why I think philosophy is still relevant today. We live in a world full of noise, opinions, expectations, information, pressure. Philosophy just teaches you to step back, to think slowly, to question instead of just reacting. So, if you're a curious cat like me, subscribe. Let's figure out life slowly and thoughtfully. Next week, we start with Socrates. So, stay tuned.